Everyone, and welcome back to the LifeScope channel. On your way in, be sure to like, share, definitely subscribe and support the channel. It's appreciated as always. So, I was just sent this video slash article, and this is from South Florida, their channel 6. And it says youth pastor accused of trafficking teenage girl living off her earnings. So this is a clear case of, I'm assuming, sex trafficking. But let's go ahead and take a listen to the video, and I'll be back.
Tonight, a youth pastor jailed, accused of trafficking a teenage girl for years, helping her sell nude content online. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Trina Robinson.
And I'm Juan Strader. Good evening to you. Investigators say that Stephen Johnson, who's from Alabama, posted the teen on escort ads and forced her into prostitution. Kim Winters live at the Broward jail tonight with the disturbing details. Kim.
Yeah, that's right. Investigators say that this went on for about 5 years and started when the alleged victim was just 12 years old. Now, in bond court, prosecutors say that the suspect volunteered as both a youth pastor and a counselor.
Stephen Johnson.
40-year-old Stephen Johnson stood quietly before a judge in bond court, charged with one count of living off the earnings of a prostitute.
That he trafficked a minor in another state, Your Honor, a 17-year-old.
According to court documents, Johnson met the alleged victim on a social media app when she was 12 years old and selling nude content online. Investigators say the girl met with someone on the app who she thought was a woman who offered to help her sell more nude content, but that woman was really Johnson.
So let me just stop right there. And he looked so bummy. And he's supposed to be a youth pastor. It's almost like you have to, if you have children, especially, you have to vet everyone that they come in contact with to make sure that they're not getting caught up, and you have to stay on top of them to make sure they're not doing things like trying to sell nudes. Now, because the little girl, when she was 12 years old at the time, was trying to sell nudes online, that makes me think, well, do you have parents? Did you have them? Are they not really active in your life? What is going on with you that you want to sell nudes? But I also have to say, in this day and age where everything is just put out there now, and it seems like it's okay, because you have places like OnlyFans, you have other different outlets where you could do those things. Not that she could do it being a 12-year-old child at the time, but you have places and examples where people could see, okay, hey, it's okay to just show nudes. Let me go ahead and get this money. But at 12 years old, it makes me question, where are your parents? And it sounds like it's something so easy to just throw it back on them. It is. But yeah, that's your child up until they're 18. For the most part, that is your responsibility. And then that's a bond for the rest of your life until you close your eyes and you go home. So he already, this youth pastor, he already had the ability to groom her from 12 years old based off what state she was in to want to sell nudes. Let's keep going.
According to the complaint, this went on until the alleged victim was 17 and flew to Birmingham, Alabama, where the suspect allegedly posted her on ads for escorts and directed her to engage in commercial sex acts for money. The complaint states that the two moved to South Florida when the teen got accepted into college, and Johnson allegedly continued to force her into prostitution. Prosecutors say it happened across several states.
Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, Alabama, now Florida, and Washington, D.C.
In bond court, prosecutors said Johnson volunteers as a youth pastor at a church and counsels children.
He volunteers as a youth pastor for youths between the age of 5 to 18 years old in Birmingham, Alabama, at a church. for the past 12 years.
Victor Williams with Quest to Freedom, a nonprofit which helps human trafficking victims, says it's something he sees all the time.
A lot of people that operate in these places and this type of spaces with children turn out to be predators.
He says traffickers use different tactics to gain a victim's trust before exploiting them.
Pretending to be somebody that they're not, to gain the confidence of these children, to give certain information of where they are and convince these children to meet them personally.
In court, Johnson was ordered to stay away from children and stay offline.
No contact with minors. No possession and or use of devices with internet access.
And Johnson's bond was set at $500,000. For now, we're reporting live in Fort Lauderdale. Kim Wynn, NBC6 News.
Yeah. How much you want to bet Johnson doesn't have the money to get out on bond? He looks very, very bummy to me. And it's real sad because you do have a lot of predators that are around and they try to present themselves as someone that can solve problems or help you with your issue. So, him doing that, being a youth pastor, and I want to know why they didn't mention the church that's in Birmingham, Alabama. How come they didn't mention the name of the church where he is supposed to be a youth pastor? And just thinking maybe a little ahead because the girl is 17 years old, but let's say she decides that she wants to maybe get an attorney. That church where he was a youth pastor, I don't know, could they be liable? Because how are you not vetting who you are letting become a youth pastor? Was he already a youth pastor and volunteered at this church? Or was he a youth pastor through the church? So I noticed they didn't mention the church's name, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind. Anyway, this is a clear case, in my opinion, of what sex trafficking is. The little girl at the time just was probably misguided. We don't know her home situation and wanted to try to sell nudes. That doesn't necessarily mean she would have went into the sex business wholeheartedly by selling her physical self, but it's a possibility she could have ended up doing that without his influence. But because he was older, he is presenting to be a youth pastor. It's somewhat of an unfair exchange. So, yeah, this is a good example of what sex trafficking look like. You go into different states, you are forcing or influencing her to engage in sex with people. And I mean, she went to college. She was going to college at 17, and he's still around and he's trying to live off of her earnings. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, bye.